Okay, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to extend the wiring for your new brake, your new turn signals. I got these off of eBay. They were 25 bucks. They looked like crap when I put them on, so I didn't end up using them. I ended up using my old ones. They look much better. So I'm just gonna use these for a demonstration. So pretty much what you would have to do, this obviously, if I were to hook this up to onto my bike, this length isn't long enough to make it all the way to that compartment underneath my seat. So pretty much all you have to do, is cut, I usually, what I end up doing is I cut it about halfway up so I have plenty of room. So I'd cut it right here. Okay, so I'd have plenty of wire on both sides. All right. And then get yourself some 16 gauge wiring right here. Get black and red, obviously to correspond with your power and your ground. And extend it. Just use you'd have to solder everything together. So what you want to do though is anytime you solder anything, you always want to solder make your soldering points staggered. So this is a perfect example right here. So these two, all you want to do is make the two wire lengths different starting points for your solders. You don't want to do them right next to each other like this. Okay, you don't want them sitting right next to each other because that just gives you a more, I guess, like more of a chance for a short, because you're gonna have bare wire sitting next to each other. Even with this heat shrink wrap around it, this is more of a chance. So it's just easier this way to you don't even have to worry about it. Not only that, but it won't bulk up. All right, in one spot. So pretty simple. I mean, all you have to do, you'll strip back some wire here, strip back some wire here, and solder it together. Make it longer, nice and long. Give yourself plenty of room too. Like, this wire isn't that expensive, so give yourself plenty of room so that way, when you do have to do some soldering on the bike, which you're gonna have to do while it's connected, you have plenty to work with, and you're not trying to get into little spaces. All right, real simple. So you're gonna do, make a soldering point here, put some heat shrink wrap around it, shrink it down, cover it, protect it, keep it away from moisture, and then you're gonna have to run everything through these wiring channels I was talking about that have the adhesive back on it. Whatever you do, do not mount this onto your bike, onto the fender, until the wires are ran through it. All right. It's a pain to get it through in the first place. There's not a whole lot of room to begin with. So just whatever you do, don't mount this on the bike until you get all the wires that need to go through it already. All right. At that point, once it goes through, you can mount it before you actually mount you can put it onto the fender before you mount the fender itself, the new fender. What I did, I'll show you when I get out there. It's pretty simple. What I did was I ran all the wires first, got it all lengthened and everything like that, and then had them hang down off the back. I'll show you what I did when I get outside. But just make sure, whenever you have a bunch of your wires on one side, you're gonna heat shrink wrap everything together too, so it's all protected and it's one package going down this channel. You don't want to have to do 5 different wires all independent going down this channel. All right, so that's it, and then I'll show you what I did outside. Okay, so now you're ready to mount your fender. It's real simple, just like the same way it came off. The only difference is now you're going to be using these your new inner brackets that are for this fender, along with your fender support covers, the new ones. All right, they're black. They came in black. So what you're gonna do is put all this on, hook it on. You're only gonna need one of these bolts on each side. Like I said, you're not gonna need 2 like from the last time. And then you're gonna need new standoffs right here for your brake or your turn signals, because your old standoffs will not fit properly into this new fender support cover. Okay, you can maybe makeshift it. You're gonna have to. It's gonna have to do some doing, because there's not a little tab like this standoff has. But if you're handy, give it a try. See if you really want to reuse the old ones. I just got these new ones. They stick out a little farther, but that's the only real difference, is they're a little bit longer. If you do get these new ones though, you're gonna need a 3.5 inch bolt to fit in here. It's a 5/16 bolt that is 3.5 inches long. I believe it's an 18. All right, so it's like 5/16, 18, 3.5. All right, I will try, at the end of the video, I'll list all the parts you're gonna need for everything, okay? And you're gonna need these little spacers right here. I got these from Harley-Davidson. I guess you could use a washer if you wanted to paint them black. It's the same thing, I mean, it's just a washer, really. But this bolt is a little too long, just to give you, it'll take up that little bit of space that your bolt will stick out, okay? But that's it. So now, at this point, you're gonna have your turn signals in, and the wires will pretty much be hanging, down here this way, okay? All right, right there. Along with your brake light. I got this brake light. It's a low profile brake light. So you're gonna have 3 wires hanging down from this, 2 wires hanging down from this, but and what I did was I combined the 3 wires from my brake light and the 2 wires from this turn signal into one piece of heat shrink wrap that's gonna be like hanging down right here, right now, okay? Then and then on this side, you're gonna have your 2 wires hanging down and a piece of heat shrink wrap. I used 2 different wiring channels just so I didn't have to try to shove all 7 wires through one wiring channel. So I have one wiring channel going down my right side here to the back, which has my turn signal wires going through that from my right side, and then I have another wiring channel going down this side with my turn signal from my left side and my brake lights going down this side, okay? And then all I did was run it, made sure everything was nice and clean, cleaned up with some alcohol so the adhesive would stick really well. Made sure I, get it a little dry fit first just to make sure it sits properly, and then ran it right through here. So these are the wires from my left side. These are wires from my right side. I don't know if you can see them right here, but it doesn't matter anyway. So they're gonna pop through this little hole right here into this little compartment right there, and then this is the board that I was talking about that sits behind your taillight on your old Fender. It's a little switchboard where everything plugs into. All right. So you're gonna plug in. At this point, this is where you're gonna have to do the soldering on the bike. This is when I did it. I did it up in here because I pulled everything through, had plenty of room, and then reattached the clips that were from my turn signals and my my new brake light. But that was all. The brake light was all aftermarket, so that came with a whole new set of everything. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was really easy. Clipped into everything, and then just ran. This is the old, like I said before, this is the old wiring. You can shorten this if you want to, just to give yourself so you don't have to pack it all down in there. Hey, get out of here. I kind of just held on to it just because I didn't feel like doing all that soldering, and I figured I could probably shove it down in there. And I could. I had plenty. I mean, it's not plenty of room, but a decent amount of room to get everything down in there. So you can, like I said before, you can either shorten it or leave it the same and just pack it down in there somehow. Okay. So now that everything's done, you're gonna you don't have to put this on right away. You can or connect your battery. Turn your bike on and check your brakes. Make sure that they work, that everything's lighting up back here, and check your turn signals to make sure that they're in the right spot on the clip. Because what you can do is mix them up by accident. It's not marked very well, so you just got to figure it out. It's not that it's really easy. If it's in the wrong spot, like if you hit your right turn signal and your left turn signal goes off, obviously you have to switch them, and that's it. All right. And look around and make sure you don't see any smoke anywhere. If you see smoke coming from anywhere at any point, turn it off, disconnect your battery right away. That means you have a short somewhere. So that means bare wire is touching somewhere. It's touching metal somewhere. So you have a short that's in some spot. So just shut it down, find it, and fix it. And that's it.